Joe, last game here, Auburn, Oklahoma. The return of Jackson Arnold versus his old team. Both teams going into this one undefeated. When you look at this SEC matchup, what are your thoughts?
Oklahoma favored at -6.5 on FanDuel. That was surprising to see. Blake, look, Oklahoma has transformed themselves. They have. They are first this season in EPA per dropback allowed on defense. Their pass rush has been overwhelming. Their passing attack has been incredibly explosive. John Mateer has found ways to help this team succeed despite some offensive line issues and some run game issues. But Blake, I got to be honest with you. I'm leaning towards Auburn winning this game. I understand. And I know that we got it wrong when they played Michigan. I think that this is very different. Auburn has 11 sacks and 26 tackles for loss through 3 games. Want me to read that one more time? 11 sacks, 26 tackles for loss through 3 games. You have Falk, you have Crawford, who are both incredibly talented defenders. And their run game has been one of the best in college football to this point. 4th in EPA per rush running the football. You've got Cobb and you've got Jackson Arnold working together in tremendous tandem with a layer to connect with Coleman and Singleton in the pass game. So, Blake, I think that this is a completely different challenge than the Michigan game. I think that we misfired on predicting the Michigan game. But I don't think we're misfiring here if we think that Auburn's going to pull this thing out.
The return of Jackson Arnold, what a story this would be if he's able to beat the old team that he just left and you bring in John Mateer and Arbuckle to change things. The question that I have is I don't know if John Mateer, and he very well can, I don't know if John Mateer is going to – let me rephrase the question like this. Is John Mateer going to be able to find the magic every week? Because if he finds the magic every week, then you have a bona fide Heisman contender. You have a bona fide situation where, Joe, it doesn't matter. They're going to be in every game whether you like it or not. And despite some offensive line issues, he is the catalyst for what we've seen with them. Let's be real about something. I know that they are the number 1 team in EPA per dropback defensively. Name a team that's worth a damn that could throw the football that they've played. Name one. Because you could say, well, Michigan and Bryce Underwood, but they literally, all Michigan fans keep saying is, we don't have the receivers. We don't have the receivers. We are not explosive. Sounds good. I am looking at this Auburn game and say, well, Cam Coleman can play. Eric Singleton can play. What can Auburn and Jackson Arnold do to prevent that? What do they present that gives Oklahoma more issues than what maybe Michigan could provide? I look at Oklahoma's offensive line, and say to myself, I saw Temple get a lot of pressure on John Mateer. And yes, the box score says that you ran for a lot of yards. But if you're just going to sit there and box score watch and not come to the realization that he was under a lot of pressure, then you're fooling yourself here. Can he continue to show that magic every week? If he does, then, Joe, I think they're going to win the game. The question is, if that offensive line continues to do some of the things that they have been doing, I don't think Michigan was the team to test you. There were a lot of times that Oklahoma gave Michigan chance after chance after chance after chance to go and tie and win that game, and they just couldn't do it. I don't know if you do that to Auburn, that you're going to be given the ability to right that wrong. This one's really close for me. And the thing that keeps rattling around in my brain is, does the head coach that knows the quarterback win, or is the quarterback that knows the head coach win? Mm-hmm. And that's where I sit here and say I don't know where to lean. I really am up in the air, but I don't think that this Oklahoma team has been tested the way that Auburn will test them, even with Michigan.
Well, now, so there's two things that you just brought up a really interesting point, and I think to answer your question, I would lean Venables because Venables is such a wily defensive coach. He's now calling the defensive plays. There's a chance for him to understand the little intricacies that didn't work with Jackson Arnold that could really cause problems for him.
Yeah.
Arnold's been great so far, but here's the thing that with Arnold, he's barely thrown the ball.
Yeah.
They have gone all in on running the football. So there's really not going to be a ton of opportunities if they continue to find success running the ball in this game to lead him into turning the ball over. He hasn't had turnovers because, again, they're not throwing the ball. They took the ball out of his hands, and it has made him a more natural player in a good way. Took out a ball out of his hands and just told him to impact the game in his way.
Last week are pop passes to Eric Singleton.
Right. The other part that comes with this, though, on the flip side, is that, Blake, I just have a lot of pause seeing, and it's not effectively appreciated enough how they played against Baylor, who's a really good team. I really think that Auburn showed an ability for them to physically establish themselves on both lines of scrimmage. And that we've gotten games wrong in predicting them this year. The ones we've gotten correct are the ones that we've leaned into physicality and the teams that have an edge on both lines. Auburn has the better D-line. They have the better O-line in this game. You have had a really improved pass rush. R. Mason Thomas, I love him. He is a fantastic player. But the Auburn defensive line has been more productive than yours to this point. The Auburn offensive line is miles better than the Oklahoma one is to this point. I have to lean into that core tenet because it has been a success driver in every single game that we've predicted in the last 3 years.
John Mateer has 3 interceptions, by the way, in this first 3 weeks. And the interception last week versus Temple, people will say, well, that's interception's not really on him. The ball got stripped. He made a bad throw and his receiver got hurt, and it was a hospital ball, and the ball got ripped out. And, Joe, when you start getting into conference play, especially in the SEC or Big Ten, and you start turning the ball over, it doesn't matter what team you're playing. I do agree. This offensive line for Oklahoma would scare me. It continues to scare me. I thought Michigan still did a lot of really good things being out there as much as they were. And look, John Mateer is a baller, man. Like he is an overall just football dude. And I think he's going to keep them in every single game that they play this year. Can he keep up with the magic and make some of these magical plays that he's been making? I don't think his offensive line does him a lot of favors. Where is Jay Knott, by the way?
Well, they did get a good game out of Blaylock, by the way. They did get.
I mean, fine. I mean, he was hitting the edge a lot against Temple, but man, this isn't Temple. This isn't Temple. So, Joe, both of them probably are running with the quarterback a little bit more than they want to, especially Oklahoma. So, can this Oklahoma O-line hold up, man?
That's literally if they don't, they lose the game. If they play better and Mateer gets the ball out quick,
then they're going to win.
They win. I see
that they're a borderline playoff team if they can do that because Mateer's been that good.
So that's a really good way of putting this before we close out. Oklahoma wins this game. Their offensive line plays better against the most productive defensive line to this point. That is enough proof for me that Oklahoma is getting to the playoff. And that would be enough proof for me that Mateer is in the Heisman conversation. Both things will be proved.
I'm not going to go there yet because I don't think that Auburn's the team. Let me look at Oklahoma's schedule right quick.
Well, I know I'm not like characterizing this as them beating Georgia, but I'm saying that this is an early in-conference challenge, and if you overcome this, it provides momentum for you to be more confident throughout the season.
Yeah, because look, Texas. They got to go on the road to South Carolina during October. They got Ole Miss in Knoxville. Joe, they got to go to Tennessee after what we just saw. Then they turn around in 2 weeks and go to Bama. Then they got Missouri and then LSU.
It's a tough schedule, dude.
Ooh.